hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome, one and all. Just let me get my links up here, give you the latest on what's happening. Welcome, one and all, to Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. It's good to be back with you here this evening. I am Sabrina, and I want to begin and give you an update with the breaking news in regards to the fire at the Georgetown landfill that is still ongoing, and it's causing major traffic disruptions this afternoon because of diversion. So we know it's 5 o'clock. We know you guys are trying to make your way home. Some are actually trying to go to work, may not be able to figure out what's going on. The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway remains closed between J. Bodden Highway and the A.L. Thompson's roundabout. So diversions through West Bay Road and Industrial Park is impacted by this. So everybody's going to, it all depends where you're coming from. You can't go into that area. So we just need you to know this. Just use the regular road, Harbor Drive, and just go. So expect a lot more traffic if you're going into West Bay this evening. And likewise, if you're coming out of West Bay and you normally have to go into the Industrial Park area, be aware of these diversions. And emergency crews are on scene, and we'll bring you more updates through the show as the information comes in as well, along with any images that may be shared with us. And for those who may be impacted, the Cayman Islands Red Cross as well has put out, is on standby. Yes, has placed its shelter on standby. That's the Cayman Islands Red Cross has placed its shelter on standby this afternoon in response of this landfill fire that's happening right here in our capital, Cayman Islands. And managers and volunteers have been alerted and are prepared to mobilize if needed. Now, due to poor air quality, officials are advising everyone in the path of the smoke remain indoors, especially with those who have respiratory concerns. So just to let you know that is the latest even from the Red Cross, and they will be providing updates as well, will be shared on their Instagram and social media pages. And like I said, as we get it here this evening, we will definitely share it with you as well. So please note that the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and my participants, is intended solely for general informational purposes only, and not considered legal or medical or financial advice. So I encourage you all to consult with a qualified professional for your specific concerns. Bridge Media Limited and all of our affiliates disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented here right here on this platform. So yes, we know what's happening for those of us just joining us. And if you're out there in traffic, I'm getting word that it's mayhem. The roadways, I'm being told, from the west is crazy. We're getting some images as well. We just ask you to just exercise some patience. And yeah, we're going to definitely be sharing any information that we have with you as they become available for sure. And we just want you to just be wary of this. Be aware. If you don't have to rush to get home this evening and may want to support a local business along the waterfront or something like that, maybe you want to consider that this evening instead of trying to get into this. But yeah, just be very careful on the road. Please exercise caution out there. And let me just give one of the latest images that was shared here with us with what's happening on our roadways. Yeah. So if you're out there and you're tuning in, we don't want you to take your eyes off the road for sure. But if you want to share that with us, with what's happening out there, I'll be getting some images and I'll be sharing those with you as we go through the show here this evening. But welcome, welcome one and all. Today we're going to freestyle it today with everything that's happening locally. Why not? And because we're going to be expecting some updates as we are live here, and I'm willing to share those with you. For anybody who's in that area, we're asking you, please, especially if you have allergies and that sort of stuff, to be aware of what's happening and just exercise extreme caution at this time. Now, let's just get straight into the weather and we'll go straight into the news where I can give you a full update as to what I have here, what I've received so far. I see you all coming in. Thank you. Thank you for all the love, for the likes, shares, subscribe. Thank you. Continue sharing it with your family and friends as we keep it real here. But this evening, thanks and compliments of our friends over there, the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. This is your evening's forecast, which will be shortened tonight. Yes, moderate to fresh northerly winds and some isolated showers in the early hours are expected tonight as a ridge of high pressure gradually weakens over the Northwest Caribbean. Now, mainly fair conditions are likely to persist once again from Friday as a dry and stable atmosphere dominates. Now, please note that there is going to be a small craft advisory that remains in effect tonight, and seas are expected to decrease and improve by Friday. We can see here that this is, you can always go on to the Cayman Islands National Weather forecast for your full details. And sun will rise tomorrow morning at 6:09 and set at 6:42. So that concludes it as we are here on the Sabrina Speaks with you this evening. And let's get straight into the news, which will be fully dominated by local news because there's just so much going on here. And you're feel free to call in and be a part of it if you're out there and you're going through it and you just want to find somebody to talk to. Yeah, just tell us what you're going through. In no time, you'll see where you're going. I prefer that than road rage. And dash cams are going to be key because I was on the road today, OMG, and I saw some dangerous stuff out there. Oh my gosh, we had about 4 cruise ships? 4. And the Harbor Drive was crazy. And then you could see these people looking up into the sky where you could see all of the smoke and all that sort of stuff. But I'll get into my adventures today with you as we continue to get information here on the Sabrina Speaks platform. But let me get you up to speed what's happening here in our local news for this evening. Yes, a major landfill fire is now being declared as a critical incident as the Cayman Islands Fire Service continues a complex and challenging response this afternoon. Now, the blaze was first reported at around 12:54 this afternoon when a 911 call alerted authorities at flames inside in the landfill. Fire crews arrived shortly after and confirmed that a substantial portion of the site is actively burning. Now, station manager Ian McLaughlin was formally declared with the situation and a critical incident, citing the scale of the fire, the difficulty of bringing it under control, and the potential of environmental impact. Now, firefighters are are under control, doing their best, and the potential environment impact that it could have. Firefighters are working to try and contain the blaze, prevent further spread, and reduce smoke and other environmental effects as shifting winds complicate the operation. And in addition to that, the Royal Cayman Islands Police has issued major traffic advisories, and the Esterly-Tibbetts Highway is fully closed between the J. Bodden Highway and the A.L. Thompson's roundabout. Now, all motorists are being diverted onto West Bay Road or through Industrial Park, and drivers are urged to seek alternate routes to reduce congestion and allow emergency vehicles to access. Now, residents and business in the surrounding areas should expect heavier traffic flows, and they are encouraged to plan accordingly. Authorities are also warning the public to avoid the area and remain alert of smoke drifting into nearby communities. Also, individuals with respiratory conditions are being urged to take precautions if smoke affects their neighborhoods. Please note that emergency teams will remain on scene and officials will give us further updates as this situation continues to develop. So there you have it, and I'll do my best once it becomes available to me here as well. I will definitely share it with you as we go along here on the show. And please comment if you got any credible information that is there. Yes. Please share with us. 345-936-8255 is the number to call to join us live, or you can send us a WhatsApp. You can send images there that are easy to upload, and I'll be more than happy to share preferred images, okay? And other local news this evening, an important civil service town hall meeting was held yesterday, bringing together more than 700 public officers online. Now, the session featured the Deputy Governor and the newly named Deputy Governor designate, Gloria McField-Nixon. It offered a valuable opportunity to hear directly from Ms. McField-Nixon, discuss the transition ahead, and outline priorities for the coming months. Now, the event also marked a meaningful moment of gratitude for the Deputy Governor's 14 years of leadership and service as the civil service continues its work on behalf of the government. Other local news this evening, the civil service comes together tonight for the 2025 Employee of the Year ceremony, celebrating public officers who consistently go above and beyond for the people of the Cayman Islands. 12 outstanding nominees are being recognized across government, highlighting excellence in service and leadership. The evening also marks a significant milestone, as it is, and it will be, the final ceremony led by Deputy Governor Honorable Frans Manderson ahead of his retirement. Now, you can watch this event live at 7 p.m. on CIG YouTube channel and on CIG TV as well. Other local news this evening, Cabinet met on April 1st to advance several national priorities for the Cayman Islands. Ministers approve updates to the visa entry and landing regulations, along with amendments to the proceeds of crime law and the public transport law for submission to Parliament. The meeting also advanced work on a new statutory vetting framework across government and strengthened anti-money laundering measures. Cabinet confirmed key board appointments, approved funding reallocations to support priority programs, and noted ongoing regional collaboration to protect the Sea Garzo Sea. That's the sarcasm C. I'm quite sure that's what that is. But yes, there you have it. Other local news this evening, the RCIPS has concluded the first phase of its 2026 road safety campaign. Operation Clyro, which was extended through Sunday, the 12th of April, as part of the National Safe Road Safe Cayman strategy, traffic officers issued over 1,000 prosecutions, including roughly 550 for speeding, more than 180 for licensing and registration issues, and over 230 for illegal tint. More than 160 tickets were issued in the final weekend alone. Now, police say there are no serious collisions or fatalities during the period, and they're thanking the public for largely responsible behavior. Enforcement continues as the campaign moves forward. And other local news, we see where the Ministry of the Cayman Islands Employment and Immigration has confirmed a series of new appointments and reappointments across the country's key immigration boards, with all terms running through the 31st of December 2026. Now, the Work Permit Board and Caymanian Status and Permanent Residency Board, the Business Staffing Plan Board, and the Cayman BRAC and Little Cayman Immigration Board also see strengthened leadership teams, including returning chairs Jerry Wood and Jacqueline Terry, BSP Chair Eddington Powell. Now, the ministry has also thanked ongoing members for their service. Full board listings will be and are available at worc.ky. So definitely go on there if you want to see that. And maybe if time permits, I found something with the present ones who remained and the newcomers. Somewhere I saw that. I'll make sure I'll share that with you. Yep, it's that time of the year again, and I tell you to keep it locked to your local media stations for the latest updates, because the Cayman Islands National Weather Service has released its outlook for the 2026 hurricane season. Now, forecasting slightly below average activity, influenced largely by the potential development of El Nino later in the season. But officials stress that even in a quieter year, it only takes one storm to cause major impacts. Now, residents are urged to review their emergency plans, check supplies, and ensure their households are ready well ahead of June. A lower forecast does not mean lower risk. Preparations remain essential. Stay informed and stay prepared, along with always being ready. And the Mosquito Research and Control Unit will be carrying out larvicide treatments in West Bay Peninsula over the coming days. Now, the operation targets mosquito larvae in standing water before they develop into biting adults, helping to keep mosquito numbers down. Residents may notice low-flying aircrafts making multiple passes over local wetlands. This is normal for this type of treatment. The larvicide remains effective for several weeks, and it's time to stay ahead of expected mosquito hatching following tidal change. And in our business roundup for today, yes, we got to keep it real. Global markets close mostly higher today, led by strong gains in U.S. technology stocks. The NASDAQ extended its rally, closing above 24,100, while the S&P 500 ended at a new record near 7,041. The Dow is also finished slightly higher. Gold rose to just under 4,820, while Bitcoin eased to around 74,700. In the Caribbean, Jamaica Stock Exchange closed lower across its major indices, and the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange operated normally with no daily summary published at the time of us going live. So there you have it, my friends. That concludes this evening. Yeah, we're short today because we got so much going on. Yep, and I want to keep it real with you. Send me those pictures if you got them, if you're stuck in traffic, and we'll definitely be able to share them here with all of us on the Sabrina Speaks. Anything breaking, I see you coming in. I'll share that in a second. Give me a minute. And we want to say hello to all of our friends and family there who are celebrating a birthday. Yeah, look, guess who celebrated a birthday? Happy belated birthday greetings goes out to Her Excellency the Governor of the Cayman Islands, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. Yes, marked with a warm surprise from cabinet colleagues, the governor was presented with not one, but 2 birthday cakes and also flowers, and what she describes as some excellent singing. I hope she were full. Making the occasion a thoughtful and memorable celebration. She expressed her appreciation for the gesture and thanked everyone involved for making the day extra special. So happy birthday from all of us as well, right here on the Sabrina Speaks platform, and wishing you many, many more. And we do the same with others in our community who are celebrating their birthdays today, milestones, anniversary. Happy birthday from all of us right here. And of course, our condolences goes out to anyone who is mourning the loss of a loved one. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, for sure. Okay, thank you. I'll share this. Thank you for that. We got a cancellation. Let me just pull this in here. Thank you for sharing that with me, my friend. We got a public notice of a meeting being postponed this evening. So just let me get you that in my community links. Just pulling it up here. And as fast as Sandra, that brute, she is like lightning. Yeah. But I'm getting there. There you go. Your Connie Bonnie's in the house. So is Donnie and everybody else. Yep, I'm going to be putting the spotlight on you in a second. But if you were planning to go to this listening tour meeting this evening that was being put on by the People's Progressive Movement, due to the ongoing situation at the landfill and resulting to road closures and disruptions across the island, tonight's meeting tour at the Seafarers Hall has been postponed. Now, the safety and well-being of our community must come first, and they recognize that many residents are currently facing significant challenges with movement and access, and they remain committed to hearing from you and continuing this important conversation. Now, a new date will be announced soon, and they thank the public for your understanding, and they're begging you to please stay safe during this time. So this meeting for the People's Progressive Movement that was scheduled for this evening at the Seafarers Hall has been postponed. A new date will be published in short order, but it's because of everything that's happening. We're seeing where there's been serious road disruptions, where traffic flow and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So once the new date is out there, I am quite sure you will be notified as well. So in the house, we got Connie Bonnie in the house sharing with us. Yes, look at her showing off. This is Connie's piece, Lily. Now, she makes mine look like a shrimp, but she is definitely a green thumb. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, and hey, big shout outs to my friend down there at Vigoro on Walker's Road today. I popped in there today to get a ZZ plant. Gonna put it on a desk. So, and thank you to all of them. I got out of there frog free. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful potted plant. And my friend who sent me the message, I saw your mama. It was so good. She was trying to figure out, are you Miss? I said, you got it right. But I was like, lightning, like a bolt out of there. But those guys always down there are so accommodating. They're always so friendly. And Connie, I saw them with some beautiful peace lilies down there. Gee, some peace. And they got my periwinkles. It's that time of the year. I'll have to get out all of my impatiens and all of those pretty ornamentals that they have for Christmas. So I'm going to take my time now and go and be very selective and try to do some planting over the weekend to replace what is now, it's just too hot here. So they die. And, but they did very well having them from November. So I must say I didn't drown them. So I'm so proud of myself. But to all of my friends there at Vigoro, been just a shameless plug for them. They always treat me well. They understand my phobia. And I appreciate that so much, so much. But yes, Connie Bonnie showing us her piece, Lily, old show off. Yeah, love you lots, girl. But thank you so much for sharing that with us as well. Like I said, 345-936-8255 is the number to call to be a part of the conversation this evening. And all of you that are here, Connie's just dancing. You must be out of traffic. Thank you so much. Girl, I had to borrow a face because I tell you, I went out. I went on so much adventures today, and then the traffic caught me. Aliano is here as well. Good evening. And what you said, that roadway from west is madness. Yeah, I can only imagine. Connie says, good thing I leave work early. My work is just below. Yeah, you're in that area. Good for you for getting out early. Damian Henry, good evening to you, my sweet. How are you? Don't be afraid of criticism, he says this evening. The tallest trees are always confronted by the strongest winds. Yeah, we need to put that into our life. And there's also a saying, the higher the monk can climb, the more his you-know-what is exposed. And there's also another saying that more aligns with this. Who throws stone at a green mango tree? Yeah. Yes. So thank you so much for sharing that again. And every evening you are a loyal fan, huge supporter of this platform. And you're not only just doing that, you're sharing these words to keep us real, keep us grounded. Yes, Miss Douglas, thank you. You are more than welcome. Make sure you, Miss Mays, take care of yourself. I know you're also in that area with your allergies. Just don't get no sick because I need to get this hair done. Need to take this out. Yeah. So my people in the UK could say, girl, need to go back to what people are used to me with. Oh my goodness. Yes. Donnie, hey mama. Hi, it's good to have you in the studio or in house with me. One of these days I gotta have you in studio, you brute, so we mess that will be. Aliano says, my girlfriend is stuck on the J.E. Banks, J.E. Banks bypass, no reach to UC, and she's there for an hour now. But that is one of the roads that I think they had actually blocked. So she must have been caught into that. And I hope she gets out of that. This just as bad as the earthquake in Japan. Oh, Lord. No, it was really bad. And I could be honest with you, that has been building from shortly after Minister 2 this afternoon, because I was in the industrial park area this afternoon and I had to go get some dog food. And I took a picture, but I'm no photographer, just from the distance. And it is nothing compared to some of these images that I'm seeing come through now. So yeah, I can only imagine now with the 5 o'clock traffic, what that's like. But my only appeal to people is that they exercise, just have some patience. It is real. Like I can remember one time, you know me, there was something happened along the Linford Pearson bypass there. There was an accident and then another accident. There was literally gridlock heading east. Your girl just took a detour and she head straight to Grand Ole House and sat down, you know where. Sunset House too. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a good time to just catch up with friends. Yeah. So there's lots of local places and nice places along this. Why stress yourself out in traffic? Just stop somewhere and support a local business. Maybe it's a long time you haven't done that. Catch up with friends. Say, hey, meet me. Are you in traffic? Let's meet here. Let's go to Peppers. Let's go Cabana. Yeah, it's good. It's a Thursday. Why not kick off the weekend early? Good evening, Andrew. How are you? Hope you're safe and sound and not out there in this mayhem. Marshall is in the house, bringing us some of that North Carolina love. We're sending K-Man Smoke a Landfill love for you today. Don says, good evening, my friend, and the beautiful islands. How sweet of you, just sharing the love. Miss Joy, good evening to you as well. You are more than, it's good to see you here. It's Connie, you are more than welcome as well. Really, I need to go see the, Jesus, Web, I should have hushed my mouth, you know. But yeah, girl, let me just rub it in a little more. They got some big ones, big, yeah. Walker's Road, that's where I was at. Live Happy, how you doing? Hi, it's good to have you in the house as usual. And today, if you notice, I didn't put that we were talking about anything specific because of everything that's going on, and I'm getting some information coming in too, and I'll be sharing with you so we can expound on it, from the cholera outbreak to the new board appointments and all the, boy, I hearing some news, some shoo out there about these. Oh my God, what's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with Anna? But yeah, we're talking about, some people are celebrating the removal of some people from these boards, and some people are like, what the heck? I've been betrayed. This is how you're going to treat me? The bushes have ears. Yeah, and I hardly leave home. It is good to see you, Annie. Annie, good evening to you. Wake Up Cayman Island says, up late studying and watching you. It is so good. I miss you, every now and again. You see, some of you guys, even if I don't call you out based on your YouTube names, I have a mental recollection of who comments. And I must say, I thank your feedback. Thank you for your feedback. I thank you for your support as well. And every time that you contribute. And I'm wishing you all the best, whatever your major is. And I'm just so happy that we can keep connected like this to let you know what's going on here at home. And thank you for taking the time to remain connected as well. And for all of your contribution. I wish you nothing but success. Tartarian is in the house. Yes, yes. Rosie Ebanks is here. What's going on this evening? Everything from cholera to the mosquitoes larviciding. We could tell you some things that could be coming up in the House of Parliament. And yeah, if I didn't know what cholera was and you're saying, oh, what the heck is that? Where did that come from? Who's drinking dirty water? Yeah, we're going to just touch a little bit into that. Sarah Curtis is in the house. Good evening. Hugs to you as well. Remind drivers, please don't enter junctions if you can't leave it. Avoid junctions if you can't leave it. It causes backups when the lights turn, plus blocking side roads where folks are trying to turn in on the opposite direction. Oh, thank you for that. Yes. This is what, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing that with us. You ain't going anywhere anytime soon because a lot of the alternate routes that could ease the pressure on possibly your normal route this evening has been blocked because of smoke and poor conditions. So just take your time. Don't block intersections. Don't do it. If you're at a light and you realize that there's a good chance that the light's going to change to red before you actually are able to fully go over the light, just stay so that the other group of people in the other direction can just go. If everyone just follow these instructions, it'll be better. You can create gridlock this way and then nobody moves. So yeah, thank you, Sarah. And if anybody else has any other tips, any areas that they're seeing people going crazy or images that you can capture safely, please share them with the CMR platform. I know my friend, she got posted up. But yeah, we just want you to exercise caution this evening. Like I said, there's so much little places that you could pull off instead of just blowing a fuse, trying to deal with something that is you have no control over right now with what's happening. We have to leave that to our emergency crews. And then there's some questions again, because in the coming days now, I'm speaking to my friends, I'm speaking to my elected friends, get ahead of this. Get ahead of this and control the narrative. How much money is put in the budget to deal with the landfill? What plans are in place for the landfill? Get ahead of the narrative. In collaboration with the operational arm, possibly this could have been a battery again. We don't know, but you know what's going to happen again. Your media teams should be on this like white on rice because questions are going to come again. We are just into a new financial year. How much million? How much hundred? How much thousand? How much nothing, if that's the case, has been budgeted to even look at the dump remediation? And for all of you who may say, well, here we go again. Why is she talking about this? No, that's gone. Let's look forward. Let's look forward. A new page was turned on the 1st of January. They knew that it's still there. Now, here we have making headlines, more traffic, more gridlock. We're not pointing the fingers. I'm just saying, get ahead of the story. Let it come from our elected arm first and come not with a half-baked cake, come with a beautifully baked cake, meaning say how much was out there. Say what plans you envision. You don't have to give all the nitty gritty, but let the public know, look, for once and for all, we're going to deal with this. This is the stage. This is how we're going to have to deal with it. You don't have to go into the great details, but at least, because I tell you what, it coming. You got opposition. You got members of civil society. You got all sorts of people right now that could run away with this. I'm just giving you little advice. Get your teams together, get a solid story, and in collaboration with your premier, in collaboration with those government agencies that are leading the charge, and do a solid piece. But it shouldn't take a week for you all to come with a sound piece of information in regards to the landfill. Simple. Get ahead of it. Get ahead of it. My Milo friend, good evening, Miss Iva. How are you? It's been a minute. How are you? Yeah. It's good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Carolyn, good evening from the... Big Sitter turned me loose and set me free. How are you, Miss Carolyn Hall from the BRAC in the house? So good to have my sister islands. Definitely bigging you up. And for everybody coming back east, Spot Bay. You know who I'm talking about. Stealing. Sending you lots of love here from the big island, Cayman, Grand Cayman, for all of my family and friends that are there. But like I said, please note that should you be in the area as we come here this evening, to let you know that the Red Cross is on standby in case you missed it and you're just joining us. I just let you know that the Red Cross has alerted their volunteers this evening. Their facilities are on standby this afternoon in response to the ongoing landfill fire here in Georgetown. And like I said, their volunteers and managers have been alerted and they are prepared to be mobilized should the need continues. And anyone with any respiratory issues, please exercise due care with this. So let me just save this document here. There are, let me do this. 17, I'm just getting some information here. There we go. Yeah. So let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. And for those who, so the Red Cross shelter is on standby. And for those of you just joining us here in Grand Cayman, the listening tour that was scheduled for this evening, 7 o'clock at the Seafarers Hall, has been postponed until a later date. So please, just letting you know that. Share that with your friends as well, in case anybody from your area you knew had plans that is possibly in this side of the island that is not impacted by traffic or anything like that. Please let them know that this meeting has been postponed until a later date, okay? So we're going to keep it moving here. Aliano says, it's simple. The dumping routine needs to be changed and it starts from the homes. And I know it's hard to implement, but proper recycling is needed. Yes, Aliano, that's an aspect, but we need to really get to some semblance as to how we're going to just deal with it. And like I said, without saying too much or, old information, moving forward is the key. And we know that a solution is definitely needed. That is for sure. So that is where it is. But what I am actually trying to tout right now is that we at least try and get out whatever's going on, whatever is happening right now. I just want my people them to just say what's happening. Say what's happening. I'm trying to get these images up here, my friend, because that is the key. I just wish that they could save as. There are some private members' motions because the next sitting of the House that is coming up, I'm just trying to get them up here. there is two private members' motions that are coming to before the Parliament. There's a private members' motion number 17 of 2025-2026. It's called Consolidation and Protection of the Central Scranton Park. And it reads, for you to know one of the things that could be on the order paper. Whereas the vision of the Central Scranton Park was formally initiated by the Member of Parliament from Georgetown Central during his tenure as minister, and whereas the cabinet paper author and submitted by the representative for Georgetown Central establish the government's commitment to this project as a vital piece of social infrastructure. And whereas the development involves the following parcels in its entirety, and it names the parcel Block 14 CJ19, 14 CJ23, Block 14 CJ Parcel 126, 14 CJ Parcel 184, 14 CJ Parcel 190, 14 CJ Parcel 192, 14 CJ Parcel 193, 14 CJ Parcel 200, and whereas a specific portion of Block 14 CJ Parcel 182, specifically the northern section currently utilized for the park's development and situated north of the government administration building parking lot, is also required for the park's completion. And whereas the park's foundation has identified and affirmed the critical need for this development to serve three primary pillars of the community well-being. One, a dedicated senior center to provide the first of its kind facility for the elderly within the constituency. Two, a youth center to offer a safe, constructive environment for the development and empowerment of young people. Three, community green space to preserve vital green space within the capital, providing essential mental health benefits and environmental freedom for residents. Be it therefore resolved that the government considers the immediate excision of the northern portion, of Block 14 CJ and Parcel 182 as identified by the park's development boundaries. And be it further resolved that the government considers the consolidation of this excised portion with the other 8 identified parcels into one single land title. So I see what they're doing. They're trying to combine. And be it further resolved that the government considers classifying the resulting consolidated land as a park and community resource for public purpose, ensuring its preservation and perpetuity for the purpose of senior care, youth development, and environmental conservation. It was this motion, my friends, is going to be moved by the Honorable Kenneth Bryan, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, elected member for Georgetown Central, and seconded by Honorable Joseph Hugh, Leader of the Opposition. And this was received by the Clerk of Parliament on the 15th day of April 2026. There's also another private member's motion that has been shared with me here. It's private member's motion 18 of 2025-2026, temporary reducing to 0% the duty charged by government on importation of fuels. Whereas over the past 5 years, the cost of most important goods has increased due to the impacts of the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, and now the war in Iran. And whereas since 2021, the cost of essential like groceries, utilities, gasoline increased in the Cayman Islands by over 25%, helping create a server cost of living crisis. Significantly increasing the cost of living for families and the cost of doing business. And whereas the increased cost of living has been oh God, what's wrong with me this evening? By the significantly increased of bank financing and mortgage payments, property insurance cost, and healthcare insurance cost. And whereas the increased fuel costs, including cooking fuels, have a broad impact affecting a wide range of average consumers, the business's monthly bills, including utility costs and groceries, transportation costs, food preparation costs, and more. And whereas the Cayman Islands government has benefited and continues to benefit from the windfall in addition to import duties because of the significantly increased cost of goods and freight. Be it therefore resolved that the government considers granting temporary financial relief to the public, reducing to 0% for an initial period of 3 months the duty charge to be recognized fuel importers and importation of fuels purchased by utility providers, fuels for cooking gas, and automotive fuel, including diesel. And be it further resolved that the government also considers reintroducing an electricity relief program like the one introduced in summer 2023 to reduce electricity costs for families and small businesses during the sweltering summer months. This motion, my friends, has been moved by Mr. Roy McTaggart, elected member for Georgetown East, and seconded by the Honorable Kenneth V. Bryan, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, elected member for Georgetown Central, and received by the Clerk of the Court on the 16th day of April 2026. So there you have it. Those are two private members' motions that will be put forward by the members in the opposition and has been shared here with you. I'm going to get those up and I'll definitely share those with you so you can go through. And we know that the next sitting of Parliament has already been announced, and persons can tune into those and you can hear, of course, the reasoning behind all of this and what it really means. And both sides will have their opportune time to consider or not, unanimously or not. But some of these are national issues because we see where they're warning us of the increased utility bills are expected. So, yeah, good for them. Let's see what's going to become of it, though. The problem with the garbage could have been sorted out years ago, but the government led McKeeva Bush did not receive the required support. You know what? The phone lines are open. 345-936-8255. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your participation. And like I said, there's lots that are going on, and to avoid speculation and anything more, I still feel it's best for us to hear from our leaders, hear what they have to say, address the public, and avoid it to be filled with hearsay. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are in charge right now. And you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. It's going to balloon into something else. They're going to go back and look at this and look at that. Let's look forward. But the key is, if there is ever any intentions right now of addressing it, whether or not it was spoken of or not, okay, it should have been funded, be it partially funded or not. There should have been something cited in the last budget that was presented to say, well, this money is earmarked for this, be it continued, closed down, wind up, and a fresh start, or we're going to reopen, but this is where we're going to be going. I don't know. I feel with this right now, you deserve to know whether or not anything has been funded. And that is my only warning or advice, I should say, to avoid being misread completely, because I'm only trying to help. We're out here, we're seeing it, we're feeling, we're hearing it, and it's in one's best interest to just be straight with what's going on. I think it's in everybody's best interest to just keep it real. And if you're being transparent, then you want to make sure that your people, the citizens, know what's happening. So I say it's best to just confront it head first and just let your people know what's been funded. If it hasn't been funded, well, say so. And then give a reasonable reason as to why. It could not, maybe it was not funded in this budget cycle, but it's funded in the next budget cycle, and give a sound reason why. That's all John Public needs. And because guess what? Saying nothing in this happening now, the second one in less than 2 weeks, it ain't good. It not good. And we have been down this road together as a team. So I'm telling you, get ahead of it. Don't make nobody tell you any foolishness. Just get ahead of it. Get ahead of it. We see where also in local news, like I said, the phone lines are open. 345-936-8255 if you feel to join me here for this evening's discussion. And we can, we definitely would be more than happy to share with you what's happening here in the beautiful Cayman Islands today with everything that is going on with traffic to you name it. We're right here. We're more than happy to share it with you this evening. Clean and Straight's in the house. How you doing? What's it like in your neck of the woods? Clean and Straight is saying, we're being squeezed financially from all directions. So the removal of duty on fuel would be a huge relief. I'm already terrified thinking of the electricity bills for the next few months. Clean and Straight, you're quite right. And you catch between a rock and a hard place. It's almost like if you drive, you tend to not really look at the board per gallon because you need the gas anyhow. I gotta tell you straight. I don't look at it and it's not that, oh, well, that's not, funds is not an option for you. No, it's not that. I need my car with gas. I limit how I move in order to make that gas being more expensive, give me the most distance. If I don't have to go out, I do not go out. And I think we all have to strategize, or maybe this is the time that we could consider possibly carpooling with another member from your house. I don't know. And stagger your times when you go out. But I personally do not look at the price because I need the gas. I just adjust how I move. And I can tell you, working from home, there are days, sometimes a week, 2 weeks, I don't leave. I don't have to. But it's not everybody the same way. So my thing is, and this is just my personal experience, if it is a case where I had kids and all that sort of stuff and I have no other choice, maybe we could take, I used to do this back in the day when my kids were younger. I used to take up my friends' kids as well and drop them home and sign, vice versa, so that you all share it because everybody's feeling it. And we see where our citizens in the eastern districts are sitting in traffic longer. And for them, it's easier sometimes to work from home because of the rise in gas and the must that they have to get down. And the conversation is going to come up again. If we had a better public transport system, maybe we could alternate. Some days we use our cars, some days we use public transport. But again, that needs an overhaul and it needs to be improved. And from what I'm hearing out there is that it needs to be some serious consistency in order for people to say, well, I know on the hour, every 45 minutes, every half hour, there's going to be a bus passing my area. If you can get that into a system, maybe people may trust it a little bit more. I don't know. We're seeing as well where I think Sandra had actually did a story on it about the fees. Yes. Oh, yes, she did post it. I know I didn't dream this. She said, government says the bus fares increase not approved. Issues compliance directive to operators. So it looks as though they did this one rogue as well. And this story is up on the CMR platform. And it says that the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure said no increases in bus fares has been approved by Cabinet for the Cayman Islands. And the announcement comes after bus operators posted a notice of a fare increase effectively May 4th due to rising fuel costs. Now, following inquiries, CMR, the Public Transport Unit, confirmed that it had received notifications from operators of their intention to increase their fares. However, the current legal framework, any adjustment to public bus fares, require formal cabinet authorization, which has not been granted. So the Public Transport Unit has therefore issued a formal directive to all omnibus operators and drivers to immediately remove any notice advertising fare increases from public buses. And operators are reminded that the fare tables displayed within vehicles must be approved by the Public Transport Board and in accordance with the Traffic Public Passenger Vehicles regulations. Now, also the PTB, that's the Public Transport Board, said that it will take the appropriate enforcement action where necessary to ensure compliance. And the ministry said, while it acknowledged the concerns raised by the operators regarding the rising operational costs, any changes that directly affect the traveling public must be implemented through a lawful and regulated process. The government is actively progressing reforms to modernize the public transport system, including the introduction of a nationally standardized fare structure, formal approval mechanism, and strengthened oversight. Now, these measures are intended to ensure that future fare adjustments and fair, transparent, and consistently applied. The public is advised that current approved fare structure remains effect. So if you go into a bus and they're telling you anything other than what you're accustomed to paying, they're doing it illegal and they're demanding additional fare that is not approved by cabinet. So members of the public who observe fare tables or notice that do not reflect the approved rates are encouraged to note the bus number and report the matter to the Public Transport Unit. And this will assist the Public Transport Board in ensuring compliance across the system. Now, you can contact, that's 946-1323. And the after hours number is 916-0467. After hours number 916-0467, or email caymantransport@gov.ky. Now their office is unit number 17 on the second floor of Rankins Plaza, right there off of Eastern Avenue, should you want to go into the office yourself. But there you have it, folks. Let me save this image here so that I can put this up. So you want to make sure now that you go in and you can see this for yourself. If you want to have a one-on-one conversation with them, you are encouraged then to go in and see that for yourself. Yeah. So that is the latest there. And don't, if I were you guys and you notice this, don't be scared. Just go in and report it if you see anything outside the norm. Is what I'm trying to say to you right now. Yep. Good evening, Miss Anita. How are you, my dear? Hope you had a blessed Easter. Could you explain why the Cayman Islands government came out of the sorting out of the Mount Trashmore partnership with the DART organization? Thanks. I did as much as I could back in the day in a consolidated version, and I would be able to just let you know that up until October the 31st, when I left, it was not at that time based on what information was presented to us. And we said this publicly at our meeting at the Seafarers Hall, that it was not value for money at the time and that the Cayman Islands wasn't getting a fair deal. And of course, I'm paraphrasing right now, but there was something with land swap and all this sort of stuff. Remember, this preceded the 2021 government. And what information was being presented to me being in government, not being the minister responsible, it was clear that the teams that were sent back to get the information, remember, members elected by government are not in the negotiating phase. Legally, the minister is not allowed around the negotiating table to pretty much lobby the best rates. That is all left on the arms of the operational arm of government, the civil servants. And then you depend on them to come back and then report to you. And then as the minister responsible, and then you go to your teams, of course, in support of the premier, who's the boss, because you serve as a cabinet minister at the pleasure of the premier. But bottom line is, to just in a short context, there was not value for money, and it was cheaper at the end of the day for the people of the Cayman Islands. What was presented, and what my memory serves me, is that it was easier to exit at the time based on what the minister had supplied to us. It was easier to exit the current agreement and start afresh, taking new information that was gained, and pretty much the trade-off with the energy versus what the people would be paying would be better for the Caymanians long term. So there were other things which personally I cannot discuss, but there were other meetings going on that we were not aware of as a cabinet as a whole, and hence, for me personally, one of the major reasons of exiting stage left when I did. So this is why Miss Anita, I am asking my colleagues to just be upfront and get ahead of this story, because this could be their Achilles heel again, Miss Anita. But thank you for the question. But in a short form, value for money and was why, and they wanted to start. But to say that it was not in a position where the discussion wouldn't come back up, no, they know that they have to deal with it, but the Caymanian deserved a better deal. And what we saw, the Caymanians were not getting the best deal. It could have gotten a better deal. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good evening, Miss Sabrina. How you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, my dear.
Yeah, and good evening to everybody else, the listeners. This where the busting came from? Where the bus flyer or the bus?
Oh, it was just
notification came
circulating. Somebody took a picture, and then, of course, it was verified. And I think Miss Sandra dug deeper into it, because I got it shared too, and it was unconfirmed. It looks as though they took it upon themselves to post it without getting approval from the Public Transport Board. So when people saw the fare, meaning the operators, but in the press release, in the story that's posted on the CMR, it did say that the ministry was aware of the concerns that was put forward by the tour bus, by the minibus operators, but nothing had been confirmed. So what they did with putting this out, these change in fees and having a start date, they did it ahead of even getting approval from the cabinet, and that is illegal.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So what a penalty is this? Here, one of them, they should be fair. Here, one the whole they know how then I got some kind of operators union or something that all of them is a member of. Every single one of them need to be fired and hire new bus drivers, because they can just put up something like that. Oops. And it's not official.
Mm-hmm.
And telling people, I mean, this island come in like a joke. I tell you the truth, it's a sad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what can be done about that? They could do whatever they had wanted to do, and it took so long now. How long that been from this week or from last week that
it was shared? It was shared. So, it was shared with me earlier this week, but I didn't do it. But it was also shared with, of course, Sandra's in the media. I do a podcast, and she went and dug further into it. But people were expressing their concerns, and she dug deeper. Anyone can do that to try and confirm it. And when she did her investigation, it was nothing confirmed from the government.
Yeah, so that came out when it was Monday that I heard her speaking about it. So when did that came up on Monday? So and what today is Thursday? So it took them 4 days. It took them 4 days to answer that, or that came out last week Friday or last week Thursday, something like that.
Well,
almost 7 days for them to answer for the government now to answer and say that not right. That should have been immediately. I mean, we got now. Listen to this now. I mean, I must be an idiot, right? Don't we have bus? I mean, people from the government there, from the transportation board, right there in a little shack, right there in a little shack by the public library.
Mhm.
that oversees the bus drivers and stuff, right? So all this time now, even none of them inspectors or whatever the official name is to them that
Mhm.
works for the government for the transportation board.
PTS,
None
yeah.
of them couldn't tell the bus drivers. Pardon?
No, I was just calling the acronym. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know what they officially call, but they work for the transportation board and how. And none of them that works there couldn't come out and say, well, tell the operators, well, listen, this is illegal, and I gotta take that down. I mean, this is mind-boggling. This is mind-boggling. This island is becoming a real joke. I mean, it's so funny that you can't even laugh.
Yeah,
Right?
well, but as you can see, based on the article that was published by CMR, they're not, the ministry, the government is not denying that these operators did not voice their concern. The problem is, up until when it became public knowledge and they started posting the new fares up on their public buses without it being approved by cabinet is the problem. And it
Right.
aligns with what you
Exactly.
say.
I agree.
Who
That's
is
the
then
problem.
holding them accountable, and what would be the consequences for these tour bus these taxi drivers? Who's holding them accountable is what you're getting at.
Yeah, and from the day, regardless, what I'm saying, regardless if they had even put it onto their bus, the minute it came out, it had to get to the bottom of the situation and see where this come from. That somebody had to go and speak to the operators and say, who bring this up? If none of the operators know where it come, just put the foot down and then and say, listen, and I don't circulate this or whatever, and maybe had meetings or whatever with them, but nothing is confirmed. So and this is a legal one to do it. So it been 7 days or 5 days, whatever it is, before the government could come on to it and say something about it. I mean, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you were weighing on this conversation. Yesterday, you were talking about the IMF and these,
The financials, right?
these different, yeah, them countries where you were talking about there. How much of them in the Caribbean is paying pays tax? Mostly all of them, right?
Most of all of them, yeah. Besides those who are British BOTCs, yeah.
Okay, so even so Cayman is in that, and the other.
But we
the
don't
other
pay
British-
taxes. Yeah.
British fall in there.
Oh, yeah. We are.
That's what I'm saying. So my point is now, I know we it yesterday, but I will listen. And my point is, I would like the IMF to explain to me, or somebody to explain to me, how a money laundering, free from money laundering, if you don't have a tax collection or something equal to the IRS. Now, I don't know how could it be free from money laundering? It's almost impossible if you don't have a tax base, or especially an income tax that you could keep a track of people income and all that to know if it's money laundering going
or
on
not.
or not. Exactly. So I don't know what they're talking about, but I mean, I must be an idiot, because anybody with common sense would know that if there isn't an income tax check, like something like the IRS or something equal to that a country got to check somebody's income, there's no way to tell that if a person is if there's money laundering being done or not. So that is ridiculous. So I don't know who they're trying to fool.
Which is, and you're speaking in general right now. I was just yesterday's the foundation of yesterday's show was to just show the difference in us being a British overseas territory jurisdiction like Bermuda, who does not sit around the table. And I led the foundation, like how we had Barbados, who signed another agreement, and she got 100 million Barbados dollars in order to help her people but we don't have a seat at the table because we're represented by the UK. It was from that aspect. Now, the local politics and stuff, like what you're alluding to, and even though we said about we don't borrow directly, indirectly, because we don't know whether or not, remember the UK takes care of us, the United Kingdom takes
I know.
care of us. So let's say they got a drawdown, okay, as an example, and their assistance that we need from them, we go to them. Now, do we ask whether or not you're getting this from the IMF? I'm not in those meetings. I don't know. I can't speak on that behalf. So it's not to say that we don't indirectly benefit, but it would be through whatever the UK actually gives us. Now, do you go another step to ask your mom, well, where you got this, mom, from? Just use it for example. You're my dad, and I say, look, I need $1,000. I'm not going to ask you where you got it from. I'm just happy that you get it. It's for you to work that out. And your terms and conditions to me now would be like we are now to the UK. So it is quite, I wanted to show the vulnerabilities of a small island development state like the Cayman Islands with climate change, how impacts like this with the fuel, geopolitics, any unrest and all that sort of stuff in the region, the same risks and vulnerabilities impacts us just as much as it impacts other BOTCs that are independent and not necessarily in the same governing structure as the Cayman Islands. That was the comparison that I was trying to do, and how the IMF plays in to the Cayman Islands and why we are so rigid with our laws and regulations, because we depend a lot on financial services.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're the ones that are that's supposed to be policing the situation with in case of money laundering.
Correct.
Nobody could have.
But the laundering part is where you have the different frameworks and the safeguards through the monetary authority and all that sort of stuff. Our government then is the one who makes the legislation, which is what we often share here on amendments in legislation that try to keep us and have the overseeing legislation. And then the administrative arm is the one then who would actually be able to detect if by chance there's any questionable funds being in circulation here.
Yeah.
And you heard the example that I gave yesterday of me just trying. You heard the personal. You heard the personal example that I gave yesterday of me just trying to open an account and the rigor that I have to go through for standing just because, and I'm not taking it personal, but these are all of the things that comes into play with regulation because I served as a member of parliament. I'm labeled as a PEP. And even now that I've not been in a political seat for a year, it's a lagging. It's still impacting how I conduct business and how I even interface with the bank.
Yeah. So just let me give an example for what work. If say somebody from another country get money from a bank in another country, bring it into Cayman, because we know there's certain foreign nationals that could get money back and borrow money in their country and through the banks, through whatever means, through whatever means. Once it goes to the bank, and the bank from another country forwards it here. I mean, with the exception of HSBC, which is probably banned internationally, that were mostly in the Caribbean and Cayman, sure. But just say through another banking institution, and they just forward that money into somebody account here in Cayman. So that money is clean and it goes unchecked. Which it could be the money indirectly with the bank not even knowing, and the bank probably didn't bother the check because once it comes through a bank, to another bank,
you would assume that it's gone through the rigor.
Everything is good, smooth rolling. Everything is good, smooth rolling. No questions asked, no red flag. So that could be done. That could be possible. That is what is what is occurring on this island on a daily basis.
Well,
You know, so
we have
I
to be
I would
we
baffle about those things.
we fought hard and we represented well internationally to get off of these lists. And we got to give thanks for that. What we need to do is to continue to maintain that our reputation remains above board. But it obviously appears that the can continues to be kicked down the road and the bar keeps setting higher. And compliance is something that we constantly need to be abreast of because it is one of our key pillars of income here in the Cayman Islands, finance, banking. So I must say, we got to do whatever it is we got to do is to keep off of these lists to make sure that we're compliant, not being a financial expert by any means, but having understand some of the discussions, being around the table. Let me tell you, that was a fight in itself. It was a fight to get us where we are today and to see now that we are recognized globally for the high standards. Maybe you may have contrary to this from other people, but yeah, it's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy.
I'm not knocking our own island. I'm just saying, I'm just giving an excuse because there's a lot of other things that is happening in other places that doesn't go through the regulation and the scrutiny that Cayman goes through.
But that should tell you something. They don't throw a stone at a green mango, right? Ah, so it means we're doing something good.
Nobody wants to mash up the dollar house. Where you mash up the dollar house for when we're using the dollar house. So let's just try to keep the dollar house. Let's just try to keep the dollar house in good condition and keep it cleaned up and stuff. And nobody would have anything to say. So,
that's right.
You know, but thank you for the conversation. And they got catch that person who catch the dump of fire, you know.
Oh, you go. You hear what I tell you? You see you? We're not gonna make you put nothing out there. You try go. Thank you so much for your contribution.
All this time, how that dump just start up like that again.
And the winds don't help. The wind, you are something else. Stop it, Dean. Stop it. We're gonna hear
the wind have to have fire to get somebody went through that. Went through that down the back of that like that.
Dean, stop it. This is unconfirmed, and he's just speaking off the top of his head for all of those who are just joining us. You are something else. You have a good evening. And this is an appropriate time for me to give a major update from the minister. I just uploaded a video, so just bear with me here. Just let me get this up for you.
This incident underscores the critical role our fire service. This incident underscores the critical role our fire service plays in protecting our communities, particularly in complex and high-risk environments such as the landfill. I want to commend the Cayman Islands Fire Service and collaborating agencies for their swift and coordinated response in the face of a challenging situation. Our priority remains the safety of the public. The public is encouraged to avoid the area. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is actively managing the movement of traffic along the Esther de Tibbetts Highway, West Bay Road and surrounding areas. Motorists are encouraged to use alternate routes when traveling. We continue to monitor the situation closely and will ensure that all necessary resources are deployed to support containment efforts and minimize any impact on surrounding communities.
There you have it. That is a major incident update from the Honorable Minister. That is Honorable Nicholas DaCosta, who has just given us his update in regards to that right here. And I told you I'd do my best to share it with you as we get it live from our government officials. Now, please note that he is not the minister responsible for the landfill, but he is the minister responsible for our fire department and our firefighters. And we got to raise our hats to them as well. And also the DEH staff, Mr. Richard Sims and his entire team. We know exactly what happens when situations like this actually happen. It's a group of persons who are responsible for this. You have the DEH under the directorship of Richard Sims and his team, and that falls under the Ministry of Health and Sustainability, and the minister is Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes. So where Honorable Nicholas DaCosta is coming in is that he's responsible for the fire officers who are actively working to get out this blaze, get it under control. Now we know that there is a public health alert as well, and so forth. The actual cause of this, I'm quite sure, in the coming days will be given in a live report. But like how my friend was speculating, the caller, about who lit a fire, is why I say my leaders, especially the minister, needs to actually do something similar to this in collaboration ASAP. You don't have to have all the answers, but it's just a matter of keeping the country calm and have drip bits of context, history, a sight forward, have a complete press release when you're addressing the public here. But as the information comes into us right here on Sabrina Speaks, we got about 45 minutes to go on this podcast this evening. We will definitely keep you abreast. The phone lines continue to be open, 345-936-8255. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, and definitely put your comments below. We would be more than happy to share them with you this evening as we continue to watch this developing story and get updates accordingly and share them here with you as well. Denver says, got another caller. Good evening. Welcome. You're live.
I say I will listen to that guy just now, but I'm not sure. But I think what is... Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
I think what's catching that dump is people is putting, because they were telling you about that years ago, and fake sense or nonsense. I don't know, scientists, but whatever. If you put batteries, people throws batteries, flashlight batteries and stuff down in the dump. And when that get mixed up down in it, and that heat, all this heat, because that heat will catch us a fire if we had enough spark and go out in it and catch a fire. And that's what catching that dump. I don't think nobody deliberately catching out a fire, because it would be very stupid to go do that. Because I remember before I get this phone that I got in my hand, my other phone, the battery for that had swell up big. And when my son took that out, he said, "Mommy, I'm not throwing this in no garbage." He said, and he put that on some cement blocks out there, out in front. And the sun hit that. And when that son was big to explode, we thought that was a bomb. So that can happen. That, yes, them batteries seem little AAA and AA, 9 volt and C cell and D cell, they can cause fire. They need to have, I don't know where they put them, but they need, just like you hear Mario talking something about these electric cars and about these batteries and things, how they can explode and stuff. I think that's my opinion. I think that's what catching that. Because some people do recycle. They throw everything in one garbage, and that's probably what happened. Right. That's my 2-cent piece on it. Well, and I forget to tell you that my nephew celebrating birthday today, and he say he 21, but he not tell my niece, tell him no 16 better than 21, because 21 old. But he 47 today. Oh, but he say he 21.
He 21.
So I say 21 old, that's old, so tell him he's 16. But I would like to give a big shout out to his name, Javon Bush.
Okay.
He's my brother, baby. May he live to see me. And then his wife, Lisa, had birthday yesterday. So happy belated birthday to them. And then the governor,
that's right.
Her. But she looked good. She looked weird. Well, I thought she was older than what she really is. And I say her age, but I know her age. But she looked good. She looked good for her age.
Well, yeah, we shared her birthday celebrations earlier on.
I see her had 2 cakes. She like my brother, he had 2. He get 2. He not want to get when you get 2.
That's right. Thank you. Yeah, all the love from all of us here as well.
My 2-cent piece, I think that's what causing the problem with the dump. Maybe if people doing that, they should take that in consideration. Do not put batteries in garbage.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward for the update, because I'm quite sure there's going to be a debriefing of everything. Yeah.
Last people to go and deliberately like that fire.
Oh, we hope not.
And if they did, they should catch them and give me a chance, tie them up, give me a chance to beat them. When I get to beat them, and I have skin on the body.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. We got this comment here. Top performers, excellent. Landfill alternatives. Japan, number 1. In the Global Waste Index 2025, extremely low. Landfill use. Heavy use of recycling and incineration. Singapore, Netherlands, Sweden, among the highest global waste management scores. Why don't our government communicate with these countries and make a deal to clean up our dangerous Mount Trashmore? Wake up, Cayman Island says recycling is a big process. It is not simple. For example, glass goes back to its original source, sand. Denver further comments and says, we had an excellent deal set forth to government under, I believe, the PPM government. I personally speaking, as I worked for DART at the time. And Plain and Straight is weighing in this evening. Maybe government should put something in effect requiring businesses to offer 1 day each week to work from home to employees who can do so. And if they're already getting 1 day a week, then give them 2. Denver weighs in and says, well, a tanker is just coming. And I can guarantee you that gas price will be $6 by Monday morning. We'll definitely keep looking at it. Denver says the UK has self-interest because of our strong finished situation. Trust me, if we were a debt to them, it would be a different story. Drop like an adopted child at the age of 18, basically saying we no longer will be protective of you. Harry, how you doing over there from the UK? Denver says, we are bigger money launderers than the City of London. Who are bigger launderers than the City of London is a question Denver is asking. I correct myself there. Miss Ebanks, how are you? Good evening. Happy Thursday to you as well. Sending you lots of love. Denver says a couple of cigarette lighters could have caused the fire. Yes, caller. That's why I mentioned cigarette lighters. Harry is saying the Red Cross has opened shelters for any nearby residents who require assistance from the blaze. Yeah, okay, so that must have been an update. Yeah, we were giving an update on that as well. Yeah, but the phone lines continue to be open here on Sabrina Speaks as we continue to watch this developing situation here happening in our beautiful islands. And today with the landfill, unfortunately, that is on fire. And our firemen and women are working hard at this. And like I said, in the coming days, we should get some sort of feedback on this. And hopefully before then, or maybe overnight or first thing tomorrow morning, we could hear something from the minister and or in collaboration with the Honorable Premier addressing the situation. Kudos goes out to the Minister Honorable Nicholas DaCosta for being the first one out of the gate to really address this as the minister responsible for fire officers. I applaud you for that. Now people are waiting to hear more as well from other members of government as we continue to watch this developing story. So yeah, it is something. Miss Anita, I hope I was able to answer you there as best as I could, but we went down that for a while. Yeah, okay, so I got all of these comments. I don't want to miss any comments here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for commenting. We appreciate your participation because we know it's you that build this space right here. And this picture was from earlier on today, taken from 7 Mile Beach. Now that was, as you can see, pretty early in the day, okay? It got worse to this point. When this image was posted, that was shortly after 2, I stand to be corrected. They had just started closing some of the roadways in the immediate vicinity, but you had already seen the midday lunch traffic being blocked up. And it was only made worse when, of course, persons had to turn around and the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service did what they had to do. So yes, we are continuing to follow this evening. As it becomes available to us, we will definitely share it with you. By the way, let me just remove this as we continue to look at the comments here. By the way, I think the idea that if the islands costs the UK money, we wouldn't care about them is false. Look at the Falklands. They cost a fortune, and they're look after pretty well. Thank you for sharing that, Harry. And this is why all sides are welcome here as we continue to navigate this definitely here in the Cayman Islands and beyond. So yes, we see where the major incident update, we've heard one from one minister. And for those of you who are just joining us, please note that the meeting from the listening tour from the Progressives has been postponed. My apologies for all of you guys who were with me from the beginning. And it's like you're thinking I'm repeating this, but we do have persons join us throughout the show that may not be aware of this and still, need to know, or they may have had plans to go. I just want you guys to know that the People's Progressive Movement listening tour has been postponed tonight because of all that is happening right here in regards to the developing situation at the landfill. And safety is, of course, of paramount to them. And they want to make sure that they're putting that priority, and they don't want to waste a good meeting and not appear to be considerate that people may have been impacted by road delays. We're seeing where traffic has been mayhem. People have been letting us know what they have been experiencing. So because of that, this has been put off until a later date. Once we are aware of that, we will definitely share it with you as well. So yes, we continuing on here, we are going to make sure, keep your comments coming in and weigh in as well. The cigarette lighters that you were talking about, Denver and Miss Shelma, I think more education, and we need to do lots more education on how we handle our waste. And if we're going to do it nationally, for true, the other day when that battery, they said, caught a fire, that there was a smaller fire that took place. They found the source of that, and that was, yes, because of a battery. That was what was reported. Now, anyone who have been to the landfill will see where they have a designated area for any batteries. But what does it say if these garbage are not being sorted? Get away. It is not impossible to get away.
I didn't say.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, you're live.
Yeah, I didn't say cigarette lighter. I said battery.
Battery.
But to me,
Okay.
cigarette lighter. Listen to me. Cigarette lighter don't make sense because you have to flick a lighter for that to light. And I do think people throw away cigarette lighter with the fluid in it. They be empty. When people throw them away, that they can't strike, they can't light no more. So I don't think the cigarette lighter could cause it. I said battery. Those batteries can ignite.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you for the clarification. But yes,
what you said then word, Selma, and I want to make clarification. I did not say about a cigarette lighter, but that's why when they were saying about the girl in Jamaica, I catch the girl by the pump with the cigarette lighter. I said, well, she was a fool if she had lighters, but it was her acid that catch her. Acid can also catch a fire. Because I was saying she was stupid to have lighter or matches wrong a pump that you're pumping gas.
Mm-hmm.
So she burned her own self out. It was an acid that she had in that bottle to throw that over that girl. Acid can ignite too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the clarification, Michelle. Much appreciated.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So there are lots. I'm no expert in landfill. I don't ever want to have that job, but I could be honest with you. There are small fires that happens very often. And this is why it's important for these landfills to be properly vented, properly capped, constantly covered with a thin layer of soil. And yes, of course, when you're compacting and all that sort of stuff, it is very important that you know what it is you're compacting based on how we are now landfilling. And the combustion that builds up, the methane gas that builds up in there has to be expelled somewhere. And these things can naturally happen. Be it a battery, be it a cigarette lighter, be it a AAA battery, whatever the case may be, whatever. Naturally, in landfills, because of how landfills are designed, they have to be properly vented because of the expulsion of the methane gas. And this is why we are saying we need to look at alternate ways of what goes into our landfill. And you saw where the ministry has joined partners with CUC in dealing with vegetative matter when they clear bush and vegetation from around our utility poles. They are now turning that into mulch. Instead of just dumping it into the landfill, they are repurposing those vegetation. Now, maybe that's a start in a different direction for all vegetative matter at some point in time, as long as it's not contaminated with any other household waste, because that's the problem. Remember during Ida and Grace, when we had those 2 tropical storms that I swear were hurricanes, the damage that that did on our farmers, on fruit trees especially. We had a temporary collection site for all vegetative matter across from Prospect Primary School. And let me tell you something. Despite the numerous public appeals for only vegetative matter to have been disposed of at that site that I can personally speak of, people were still putting metals, all sorts of other things in there when we clearly made it known what was supposed to be disposed of that area. Now, whether it's I don't care as long as it's not in my sight, but because of persons not heeding those warnings, the machine, it has some teeth that grinds this vegetative matter up. When those metals, of course, were going in there, because you're thinking we're all adults, right? We're going to follow the rules, that they're only going to put vegetative matter in there. You're not expecting a piece of a washing machine or let's say a small rim from a wheelbarrow going to be in it, because we clearly stated, or piece of guttering. You understand? You're not expecting that to be in there at that temporary site. But yet, my friends, our local residents, we're not pointing no fingers because honestly, you don't know. They were putting all sorts of crap at that site that damaged the machine not once, but 2 times, as I can recall. And why? Because I was a sitting minister. And I personally went out there and did a short video begging people to follow instructions. So when you look at this from a larger scale now of how we dispose batteries, how we dispose oil from either our mechanic stores or even in our surroundings at home, there's a reason that we're asking you to do this safely. There is a reason. Because maybe this could have been avoided. We don't know. And we're not going to speculate. And this is why we have to give the experts the opportune time to go ahead. First of all, first priority is get the darn thing under control. And second of all, and while you're trying to do that, getting that under control, address your nation. Address the nation so that it's not filled with any other sort of speculations. That's the key. And then we continue to move forward. But yeah, these are all being proactive, controlling the narrative, and responsibility is largely on every single one of us who is in this island and those who only here for a couple hours that gone. Yes, not one single person on this island can say that they don't have something in that landfill. Hold your hand up if you tell me you don't have anything in that landfill. Yes, Michelle, you're live.
Last time. Last time, I say exactly what you were just saying. You tell people, but people still do what you tell them to do because people actually don't care. And you hear what they say, don't care, have a large house. But when he get in, he can't get out because people don't care once it's not in their yard to catch their yard or whatever. And I can almost guarantee, I don't know, but I am almost 100%. I wish they could come out with that that's what caused that. Because batteries tank in this whole years ago, do not put batteries in garbage.
Mhm.
So that's the people don't care. You but they don't care what they put in it, so
Mhm.
long it gets
Out of their
place.
yard. Mhm.
Right, and that's a true saying. What you say, you tell them, but it's like it don't go into one ear and come out through the next one. It maybe just pass through or pass over the top of their head because people actually don't care. That's the whole problem.
Mhm. Mhm. We can only hope
That's
and pray that they
the whole
follow.
thing. People don't care. They don't care. Some of the people around here don't care about us. Don't care, and then they don't realize that if the island catch a fire, because that's like one stupid woman. Then we were home one time when hurricane was coming, and she said she hoped that the storm could come and blow the whole Banaka Key away. And my mom answered her because my mom, we were actually crossing, and she was the person. My mom said, "You stupid thing, you think." And I don't call no name, but she said, "You think that if it comes, it can pick you out and go with everybody." That's a really, really stupid statement, because if they come and carry the whole key, you hear and you going with it. But that's how people think. If they
Mhm.
lack of knowledge, people
People
shall
will
perish.
perish. Mhm.
This wasn't too common, so that's my 2 piece. And bye. I would call back again. Bye. And good have a good evening. I'm feeding my husband.
Okay, well, go ahead and take care of Billy. You go ahead. Thank you, Michelma. And now that we were on that topic, I see where, if you didn't know, now you know, the Department of Environmental Health has done their 2026 bulk waste collection announcement release. And this will start in Grand Cayman from May 4th and end in East End up until May 30th. Now, the first week will be in West Bay from May 4th to the 9th. The second week will be in Georgetown, May 11th to the 16th. The third week will be in Bordentown, May 18th to the 23rd. Northside and East End combined, May 25th to the 30th. So it'll be 4 weeks, an entire month dedicated to bulk waste cleanup. And as stated by the Department of Environmental Health, that residents are reminded to prepare. Listen to this other word that they use, separate. Let me read. Residents are reminded to prepare, separate, and place their bulk waste on the curbside before the week assigned for collection in their respective areas. These bulky items shall be placed only on the curbside in an area that is easily accessible to DEH collection crews and does not obstruct the roadway or drains. DEH Director Richard Sims reminds residents that any bulk waste put out in an area other than the curbside or after the announced dates will not be collected and will be considered illegal dumping. Any bulk waste put on the curbside other than the announced date or afterwards will not be collected and will be considered illegal dumping. So do not miss your dates, as this massive cleanup exercise will not be extended. And this is your opportunity to dispose of any unwanted bulk items. Just remember that we are not coming to you. There is no need to place them in any other area rather than outside your homes. There is no designated sites for placement of bulk waste. And that is a quote directly from the DEH director. The DEH collection team will dedicate its efforts to collecting bulk waste in West Bay area during the first week of the schedule, working Monday to Saturday. The team will later move to Georgetown for the second week of the schedule, to Bordentown the third week, to Northside and East End on the final week. In the case of the sister islands, collection will take place during the week of May 25th to 29th. And again, those dates for West Bay is May 4th to the 9th, Georgetown, May 11th to the 16th, Bordentown, May 18th to the 23rd, Northside and East End, May 25th to the 30th, and to my brothers and sisters, family in the sister islands, it is the week of May 25th to the 29th. And remember, if you put it out there after your weeks in Georgetown, West Bay, Bordentown, East End, and Northside, they're going to come at you with the law because you're going to be charged with illegal dumping. Yeah. So for God's sake, please only put out these bulk waste items between these dates and not after. So in West Bay, do not put out your stuff on the 10th because your last day for collection is May 9th. Georgetown, do not put out your bulk waste on the 17th of May because your last day for pickup is the 16th. So that means you would have to put it out the 15th for it to be picked up on the 16th. And for Bordentown, do not put it out on the 24th because your last day for pickup is the 23rd. And Northside and East End, your last day for pickup is May the 30th. If you put it out after these dates, you're considered illegal dumping and you could be charged. Remember, they just did the law where you can now be fined. So you can't say you didn't know about it. Yeah. All right. So we want to make sure that you do this and make sure that, what am I missing here? Aliano says, if there was a buyback incentive where alleviate the problem. And I see a conversation between Denver and Harry. Is there no laws on this issue? 90% of the people don't care about government requests. People do care when government enforces law via fines and other measures. Okay, that's an ongoing conversation that's happening right behind there. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it here on Sabrina Speaks. So just remember that. I thought it was fitting for me to share that with you. I remember the flyer being shared with me this morning, and I didn't have those dates to share with you. So I'm hoping that for those ahead of the hurricane season, and remember they used to do bulk waste cleanup during the Christmas. That is no longer the case. So this is the only one that's going to be had. Now, if it's going to be changed, I'm quite sure that they will announce that. So normally the policy of the DEH is that they would do this in the middle of the year, pretty much ahead of the hurricane season. And it's tradition that we normally clean up around our places for the Christmas season. It has been for the past 2 years that they had not done that. And so we want people to take advantage of this. And a very important thing that was brought out in this press release, there were normally places within the middle of like some roads and stuff where people would go and take washing machines and all that sort of stuff. That does not exist. So you're only asked to put your bulk waste items in the front of your respective homes. Don't take them out of your yards and put them in no public roadways. That is illegal. Good evening, caller. You're live. What's on your mind?
How are you?
I'm fair to fine. How are you?
Fair to fine.
Fair to fine.
I guess you're not on the road.
How I could be on the road? I'm doing this live.
I know you're not on the road, but that's why you're fine.
I'm out there today. OMG. I know used to going out and it was mayhem.
Does the government understand what they did to society when shut down the road?
No, I don't think they understand the magnitude, to be honest with you. But in the case of what I saw happening, just based on images, it was a matter of safety precaution, which is why I tried my best to tell people, don't rush to go anywhere this evening.
Is the fire out in the road?
No, it's not, but it's smoke, and then you have impaired vision.
It's nowhere near the road.
We know that.
Yeah, but the risk versus the reward, that's not worth it for shutting down the road.
Okay, that's your opinion.
I understand, but the government does nonsense, and I mean, so much is unbelievable. Ever since the RCIPS got the power to just shut down the road without having to get approval for each time, they have been making
I see where you're
dumb
going.
decisions.
Yeah.
this is foolishness. What they're doing to people is utter foolishness. And you know what the other part of the problem is? The facility should have been mined for the fuel that's there and used instead of it going up in flames in this way.
Because you know that's a buildup
So
of methane, right? No matter what sparked it, what doesn't help is the high winds that we have either. It's fanning it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't help when you don't consume it, so the pressure builds. But the point that I'm making is that if you're shutting down the road for smoke, okay, that's foolishness. Just say to people, hey, on this stretch of road, drive with caution because you have smoke in the area. But to shut it down, how many roads do you think we have in this country?
We don't have. You see, that's it. Roads? They were bottlenecking everything through Harbor Drive.
That's not workable. That is not workable.
Harbor Drive, Eastern Avenue. It all depends on where you were coming or going. Yeah, it would determine.
It doesn't matter if you're anywhere in town. You're stalled. And we need somebody with sense to take charge of this situation. Because whoever made this decision made a dumb decision.
But like a comment says, for road closures for public safety. If I could say, okay, I'm driving, the roads wasn't closed, I was impaired, and even though we know how that particular road in the back there that they closed, leading onto the Esther Latibbetts Highway, am I right here by the hospital? Whatever that little stretch of road is called, I don't remember the name.
Hospital Road.
No. This is where the fire is actually happening.
Oh, that's
okay.
I think
the name is after Mr.
Borden.
Yeah, Miss Heather's husband. That is name. And let's say there's one lane or two, and for whatever reason, you and I are driving side by side, whatever, and one of us veer over into each other because we just could not see it was that bad. Who do I blame? Do I blame the government for not closing it down that caused my thing, even though we were driving with due care and attention? This is hypothetical. So I think not just being objective, I really felt they did it out of precaution because we don't want to end up with a national suit or a chain reaction accident because people's vision were impaired because of the thick smoke. I'm just saying.
Well, why don't we just stop Cayman Airways from flying because people could crash and die?
Come on, man. You're using a microscope to split a hair.
Listen to me. The world is not perfectly safe. And if you think that you can run a country only if it's perfectly safe, you're sadly mistaken. That is why you would give an announcement to say, hey, reduce your speed, drive with extreme caution on this stretch of the road because there's smoke.
Harry saying, my point is surely that should be a police department and fire service decision independent of the government or a government decision. And Connie weighs in on it and says it was closed for safety response, safety reasons.
Okay, that's what is always said. Everything is for safety reasons. Everything. But who seeks to see whether that is justified? What I'm hearing from people is you don't need to justify it as long as you say it's for safety. No questions asked.
But can you really, for this context and what Harry is saying, but if there is a massive fire pumping out smoke, that is a massive risk to the public safety. And you cannot seriously expect the public, of which 50% make very stupid decisions all of the time. Follow says to follow government advisories about driving carefully. Denver weighs in, says, was the smoke not going up in the air or was it impeding vision of driving?
I see it going up in the air. But what I hear from what your listeners are saying is don't question anything. I think it's a dumb idea.
Well, in this case, I think a lot of people are seeing it for what it is. This could not be used as a broad brush on every subject, but for what people are witnessing, they felt it was the best decision for this particular case, this particular incident. We're not going to use it, this is my takeaway, for a broad brush moving forward for everything. Not to say that you don't have merit to what you're saying, but in this particular case, it was done for safety reasons because of impaired vision.
With all due respect, the smoke I see coming from the dump is not something that makes the road impassable.
Okay.
That's foolishness. It is foolishness. I'm looking at it right now. All right. What I'm saying to you is that one of your listeners said that 50% of people make dumb decisions. Well, a lot of people work for the civil service.
When you're talking about adhering to the traffic, driving safe is what he was saying. And he further said, no question. No question, but you can't blame the government. Surely they haven't intervened to require a road closure.
Okay, I'll say RCIPS because that's what I mean. The RCIPS is part of the government. I know if you want to get down into that kind of minutia, we can if you want. But the police is the one who made this.
Mm-hmm.
So
WhatsApp is saying winds can shift anytime.
It doesn't matter if it shifts. The quantity of smoke is not engulfing the road.
Connie's saying, okay, Danny, I'm asthmatic. And if I wouldn't drive on that road because if your AC is fumes could vent through the AC. Andrew says, the problem, if you tell people drive slow 20 miles an hour due to poor visibility with their flashers, and here come a few idiots speeding down and causing a major pileup. Have you seen when the roads are black ice on the road, what happens?
What do you think would happen if some idiot did that?
It would be a pileup.
It would be just like any other day when some idiot is speeding and crash. It'd be no different.
But don't we want to try and avoid it?
Okay. If you close the road, you think that's going to stop idiots from speeding?
We're not saying it, but we're actually being responsible for this particular subject.
You know, what you're doing is you're shutting down the country
how can you say it's a shutdown when there are alternate routes? You're just asking them to exercise caution because you're bottlenecking thousands or maybe a couple hundred other cars to go back to an original route. That's not shutting down a country. That's just saying
you see the gridlock?
You're asking me if I see it? I know I'm getting that people are not even coming east because it's that bad. I'm getting messages.
It is horrific.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying to you that the quantity of smoke that I see coming from the dump, that's not justifiable.
Oh, okay.
It's not. And I'm saying it because I want to register my displeasure with it.
Got you.
They're causing havoc on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
madness.
I got people who are coming east that are saying, with all the congestion, they're just staying put in town. And it just doesn't make sense. They're just going to stay in town and meander and then just head up afterwards, giving people time. Yeah. And they're not heading in that direction. They're coming east. Can you imagine? Yeah. So I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
You go all the way down to Warren Avenue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You think about how far that is away from the dump.
Yeah.
And you have gridlock.
Oh, wow.
You need to understand we don't have many options.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
This is the problem that we have with the east-west arterial that should have been being constructed by now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When is that going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
You see, let me tell you something. There is a group of people in this country who don't really care the inconvenience and the hardship that are placed on the average person on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
They simply do not care.
Mm-hmm.
This is nonsense. This is the same type of attitude why we don't have that road up there any farther than it is.
It is now.
Thank God that Jay has pushed it as far as he could, but it should have been much farther than that by now.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm getting from your feedback is that the risk right now outweighs the national gridlock that was caused.
No, the reverse.
Okay.
The risk
Yeah.
doesn't
You see where I'm
justify it.
going? Yes. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you see that I understand what you're saying. You get that I get it. Yeah, the risk. Oh gosh. Well, let's hope that they use this as an example because
No, they're tone deaf. The police is tone deaf.
Well, I would hope that they would have been in collaboration with the respective minister and the government. No, because it's an operational arm. You're quite right. It's the operational arm. Yeah, so this was a call independently under good judgment, possibly in collaboration with the fire service. So this would not have necessarily been, as you alluded to earlier on, in approval or support with the sitting ministers or even our elected arm, because it's operational.
No, it's not the elected, no.
Correct.
When I say government,
Yeah.
I mean the police.
Yeah,
I don't
the
mean
civil service. Yeah.
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 But this like the traffic is 5 miles an hour, bumper to bumper.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when they shut? I don't remember which road it was previously.
Harbor Drive.
They had shut down
Because of some event.
and
Yeah.
And Panton had to apologize.
I remember that. I got caught in that.
This is just as bad.
Oh, Jesus. So it's a repeat of that. And that was
terrible.
only the small sliver of Harbor Drive for a national event. That was only along Harbor Drive. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now the West Bay Road is 25 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about that, right?
Aliano says, Mr. Denny, you are not wrong. Just need to understand the reactive mindset, the way poor management can cause such a failure of effectiveness. And Harry's saying, the average person is inconceived by a lot of things, and road closures because of a fire is the least of their complaints. And he also says, if people are seriously going to go nuts about a road closure because of a fire made by what must be somewhat intelligent people in the fire department and police service, then there is something wrong with, I don't know. And then it ends. I'm just making sure I just say all of the comments, my love.
That is a mindset that has us right where that's the people who think that way have us right where we are right now as a people, as a country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's a foolish mindset.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, my love, that you got caught in that, but I hope you could get caught in something like that a little bit more often. Maybe we'll hear from you more. I look at the silver lining.
Well, I guess you could say that smoke is similar to silver.
Oh, gosh. I've been getting your messages too, by the way. Thank you. I just need, oh my gosh. Yeah. Woof. They're heavy.
I need to call you after about something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me wind up for today. Take care. Thanks for your input.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, man. There we go. We went over by 7 minutes. Thank you so much for all of us who are sticking and staying with me this evening. And we don't have any further updates, but just before we go, for those of you doing a last housekeeping, the People's Progressive Movement listening tour has been postponed this evening due to what is happening and obviously what you're hearing. What's going on with the gridlock and traffic jam that is out there this evening. Excellent call. Good for them. And first, elected member of Parliament, to actually address the public because of their responsibilities, I'm sure, and just general concern, is the fire service. We give kudos to the Honorable Nicholas DaCosta this evening, and he has got another call coming in. I taught you for this evening.
You never see the song I sang for that suit this evening, Traffic by Barman? Close out your show with that.
If it doesn't
You never
take
see that or what?
I saw it, but if it doesn't take a while to upload, I only have limited time. That's why. But I got your message, my sweet.
Well, there's traffic. What then they're talking about traffic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, play it tomorrow.
I'll
Close
upload
out
it
tomorrow with it.
Definitely, because that's open mic. But I'll do it and I'll upload it, my love. But I'm going to play Nicholas now. Thank you, Michelle. Aliano said, I hate to see a massive incident image. Imagine the chaos. Oh, you would hate to see a massive major incident. Imagine the chaos. Well, let me.
This incident underscores the critical role our fire service plays in protecting our communities, particularly in complex and high-risk environments such as the landfill. I want to commend the Cayman Islands Fire Service and collaborating agencies for their swift and coordinated response in the face of a challenging situation. Our priority remains the safety of the public. The public is encouraged to avoid the area. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is actively managing the movement of traffic along the Estella Tibbetts Highway, West Bay Road, and surrounding areas. Motorists are encouraged to use alternate routes when traveling. We continue to monitor the situation closely and will ensure that all necessary resources are deployed to support containment efforts and minimize any impact on surrounding communities.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Thank you, Honorable Minister Nicholas DaCosta. And also before Akeem, I didn't see this one. The Department of Education Services, this was a public notice. Again, West Bay bus delays today. Parents and guardians are advised that students traveling by bus to West Bay this evening will be delayed due to heavy traffic caused by the Georgetown landfill fire. Affected routes, including West Bay Road and the Esterly Tibbetts Highway. And we appreciate your patience. So this is all aligning into what the last caller is saying. And yeah, there you have it. So we are sharing with you as they came in, and that's all I got right now. And yes, Harry had said that I didn't get to do this one, but we must share with you the latest information from the Red Cross is that, yes, that shelter is open. I did say it, but I can confirm to you now that the Red Cross shelter is open. And that is how bad it is right now that they have updated their information and letting us know that their shelter is open at this time. So we want to make sure that standby. So there's no longer in a standby phase. The shelter is actually open. Let me get this up here. Okay. And so as of 4:40, the Cayman Islands Red Cross shelter is open for persons affected by the landfill fire. And the shelter is located, of course, 34 Huldah Avenue across from the farmers market at the cricket grounds. Individuals in need of safe place are encouraged to make their way to the shelter. Please note that parking is limited and pets are not permitted. So this is the latest update. The Red Cross shelter is no longer on standby. They are actually open. So this is the latest information from the Red Cross. The shelter is open now officially for those persons, and it was open from 4:40 because of that. But please note that pets are not allowed at this location, okay? So make sure that you keep abreast of local media channels for the latest updates, and we will continue here as well. Please pay close attention to all the updates on CMR News, who will also be posting all of the latest information as well. It has been my pleasure bringing you another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Tomorrow is Open Mic Friday. I will definitely upload that song from Miss Shalma so that we can share it here, cover some things, and let's hope we get some updates. Let's hope between now and then that we'll have something even more official from our minister responsible for the landfill and maybe the Honorable Premier in collaboration. I don't know. And but whatever it is, we will definitely keep you abreast of everything that is going on here. Andy Janice. Okay. Oh, for the people that live in the apartments right across the landfill off the bypass. Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine all of those people right there? I can't remember what that road names, but all of those people along the 7 Mile corridor across from Captain's Bakery, all of that stretch there, and Grape Tree condos and all of those KFC area, Washington Boulevard, aka, I'm sorry, did I have to call this? Yeah, but you heard Georgetown Courts area, Kirk Supermarket area. It all depends on where the wind is blowing. Yes, Miss Connie, thank you so much. Good night. Be safe. Miss Anita says, I just recently learned about the Mount Trasmore, formerly the Monarch Hill Renewable Energy Park, located in an unincorporated Broward County, Florida, near Coconut Creek, Pompano Beach, and Deerfield Beach. It is 225 feet high landfill, visible from Florida's Turnpike and I-95 active landfill, accepting roughly 3,500 to 10,000 tons of trash daily. Now, it is scheduled to close around 2050, but could we learn from their plans, Miss Anita? Sensible. I have passed that more than once, and unless you see those crows or what you call buzzards or whatever you call them, you don't even know that you're passing there because of how it's landscaped, to be honest. It is high. Yeah. But thank you for sharing that with us this evening. So yes, thank you, one and all. Please be safe. I've gone over by 15 minutes. I hope I don't get in trouble here. And but it was worth it. Thank you so much for all your feedback. We freestyled today for sure. We got lots more to fill you in on tomorrow as we look forward to the weekend and definitely looking forward to a new week. And I will post those 2 private members' motions as well. If you follow and the Sabrina Turner Community Activist Facebook page, I will make sure that I'll post them there immediately after this show so you could read it for yourself. And maybe we'll cover it again tomorrow for the sake of those who missed us, because I don't know what happened with me earlier on. But please, good night. And to all of our frontline staff who are doing this, thank you for your service, all that you do, to your families, for your support. Please stay safe. Good night to one and all, and God bless. See you tomorrow.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, K-Man, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.